You have got a leaky pipe, or maybe you are replumbing a bathroom and you are staring at three options on the shelf: SharkBite, ProPress, and good old-fashioned solder. Everyone has an opinion, but nobody actually tests these things to failure. Well, after over 25 years in the trade, I did exactly that. I put all three connection methods through 8 brutal tests to find out which one truly holds up and which one fails when it matters most. And let me tell you, the heat exposure test and the bonus tip at the end completely changed how I think about fittings. The first test I ran is the burst pressure test, and honestly, this is the one everyone wants to see. I took 1/2-inch copper pipe and made one connection with each method. SharkBite push fit, ProPress with a standard jaw tool, and a traditional sweated solder joint using lead-free solder and flux. Then I capped the ends, hooked each one up to a hydraulic pressure rig, and started cranking. Your typical home water system runs somewhere between 40 and 80 psi. Code usually requires pipes rated to at least 160 psi. So I wanted to see what happens way beyond that. The solder joint held strong all the way up to around 800 pounds per square inch before the copper pipe itself actually split about 2 inches away from the joint. The joint was still perfect. ProPress came in impressively close, failing at around 750 psi. And the failure point was right at the fitting where the O-ring finally gave way. SharkBite held solid up to around 480 psi, which is still well above anything your home system will ever see, but it was clearly the first to go. The stainless steel teeth released and the pipe shot right out. Now, does that matter for your house at 60 psi? Probably not. But it tells you something real about the engineering margin you are working with in each method. The second test that really separates these three is the torque and twist test. This one simulates what happens when somebody bumps a pipe in a wall, when a joist shifts, or when you are working in a tight crawl space and accidentally put rotational stress on a connection. I locked each pipe assembly into a vise and used a torque wrench to apply increasing rotational force to the fitting. Solder was essentially immovable. That joint is fused metal on metal, and you would destroy the pipe long before you broke that connection by twisting. ProPress also performed extremely well here. The press ring creates a mechanical crimp that resists rotation, and it took serious force before I saw any movement at all. SharkBite is where things get interesting. It held up fine under light to moderate torque, but once I got past about 15 foot-pounds, the fitting started to rotate on the pipe. It did not leak right away, but that movement tells you the O-ring seal is being stressed in a way it was not designed for. This is exactly why SharkBite fittings should always be supported, with a proper bracket or clip, especially in walls or ceilings where things shift over time. The third test I put them through is the vibration endurance test, and this one matters more than most people think. I mounted each connection on a vibration rig that simulates years of water hammer, nearby washing machines, furnace rumble, and the kind of low-grade constant vibration that every house experiences. I ran each assembly for 72 hours straight at a consistent frequency. Solder passed without any measurable change. No micro cracks, no weeping, nothing. That fused joint just absorbs vibration without complaint. ProPress also passed cleanly, though under magnification I could see very slight burnishing on the O-ring surface. Nothing that would cause a leak in a normal lifespan, but it is worth noting. SharkBite developed a very small weep at around the 50-hour mark. We are talking about a drop every few minutes, not a spray. But in a closed wall over 5 or 10 years, that kind of micro leak is exactly what causes mold, rot, and the kind of damage you do not find until it is a $5,000 problem. If you are using SharkBite in a permanent install, especially behind drywall, this test should give you pause. Now, If this kind of practical plumbing knowledge is something you want more of, I have written a guide called 50 Easy Plumbing Fixes that will save you $10,000. It is packed with repairs you can do yourself this weekend without calling a plumber. Scan the QR code right now or check the first link below. All right, let us continue. The fourth test is the freeze and thaw cycle test. And if you live anywhere that gets below freezing, pay close attention. I filled each assembly with water, sealed them, and ran them through 25 freeze and thaw cycles in a controlled freezer, taking them down to -10 degrees Fahrenheit and then back up to room temperature each time. This simulates what happens to pipes in garages, crawl spaces, exterior walls, and cabins that go unheated in winter. Solder handled it without any issue. Copper is naturally resilient to thermal cycling, and the solder joint maintained a perfect seal every single time. ProPress surprised me a little. It also passed all 25 cycles, but on close inspection, the O-ring showed minor compression set, meaning it had slightly flattened from the repeated expansion and contraction. Over many years, that could theoretically reduce its sealing pressure, though the manufacturer rates these fittings for the full lifespan of the system. SharkBite actually performed better here than I expected. The push-fit design allows a tiny amount of pipe movement inside the fitting, which gives it some natural tolerance for expansion. It passed all 25 cycles without leaking. That said, I would still insulate any SharkBite connection in a freeze-prone area because the O-ring material does stiffen in extreme cold and loses some of its elasticity. The fifth test I ran is the pull-apart tension test. This one is simple but brutal. I locked each pipe assembly into a pull rig and applied increasing linear force to try to physically separate the pipe from the fitting. Think of this as what happens when a foundation settles, when thermal expansion pulls pipes in opposite directions, or when someone accidentally yanks on a pipe. Solder required over 200 pounds of force before the copper itself tore. The joint never separated. ProPress held to about 170 pounds before the crimp ring began to deform and the pipe started to slide. SharkBite released at around 80 pounds of pull force. That is still significant and well beyond what normal residential conditions would produce, but it is roughly half of what ProPress can handle and less than half of solder. This is another reason why proper pipe support and strapping is absolutely critical with push-fit connections. If a SharkBite fitting is doing any structural work, or if there is any tension on that line, you are asking for trouble. The sixth test on my list is the heat exposure test, and this one produced results that genuinely surprised me. I set up each connection and used a heat gun to sustain 200 degrees Fahrenheit at the joint area for 60 minutes. This simulates pipes running near a water heater in an attic during summer, or close to a furnace or boiler. Solder was completely unbothered. The melting point of lead-free solder is around 460 degrees Fahrenheit, so 200 degrees is not even close to a concern. ProPress also handled it well, though the O-ring is rated for a maximum continuous temperature of 250 degrees, so there is less headroom than you might assume. Here is where it gets interesting. The SharkBite O-ring is made of EPDM rubber, rated for around 200 degrees Fahrenheit continuous. At exactly that threshold, I measured a small but real drop in seal compression. It did not leak during the test, but the margin was razor thin. If your SharkBite fitting is sitting near a water heater exhaust or in a south-facing attic in Arizona, you are running right at the edge of what that O-ring can tolerate day after day, year after year. This is something almost nobody talks about, and it should factor into where you choose to use push-fit connections. The seventh test is the cost and time comparison, and honestly, this is where the conversation shifts for a lot of people. I priced out a standard half-inch coupling for each method at current retail. A SharkBite coupling runs about $6 to $8. A ProPress coupling is around $4 to $6, but you need a press tool that starts at about $300 for a basic kit. or you can rent one for around $60 a day. A copper coupling for soldering is about 75 cents, plus flux and solder bring your consumable cost to maybe $1.50 per joint, and a basic torch kit costs around $30 to $50. Now for time. A SharkBite connection takes about 5 seconds once the pipe is cut and deburred. ProPress takes about 10 seconds per joint once the tool is set. Soldering takes about 2 to 3 minutes per joint, including prep, flux, heat, and cool down. So if you are doing 1 or 2 quick repairs, SharkBite is the fastest and cheapest option with zero learning curve. If you are doing a whole house replumb or a large renovation, soldering gives you the lowest material cost by a wide margin, and ProPress sits right in the middle, offering professional speed with professional-grade reliability. But that tool investment only makes sense if you are doing a lot of joints. The 8th and final test is the long-term reliability verdict, and this is where I pull everything together. Across all 7 tests, solder won in every single category except speed and ease of use. It is the strongest, most heat-resistant, most vibration-proof, and cheapest per joint connection method available. If you have the skill and the time, solder is still king. ProPress came in as the clear second place overall, and honestly, it is what most professional plumbers are switching to for good reason. The reliability is very close to solder, the speed is dramatically faster, and the consistency is excellent because the tool removes human error from the equation. You get the same crimp every single time. SharkBite is not a bad product. Let me be clear about that. It passed every test within normal residential operating ranges, but it had the smallest safety margins across the board. Where I would use SharkBite without hesitation is for accessible repairs, shutoff valves, temporary fixes, and situations where you need a connection fast, and you can get to it later if anything ever goes wrong. Where I would not use it is behind finished walls, in ceiling cavities, or anywhere you cannot visually inspect it on a regular basis. All right, here is the bonus tip that pros actually use. If you do install SharkBite fittings, there is a simple trick that dramatically improves their reliability, and almost nobody does it. After you push the pipe into the fitting, take a permanent marker and draw a line on the pipe right where it meets the fitting edge. That mark becomes your visual indicator. If the fitting ever starts to creep or the pipe shifts even a fraction, you will see the mark move away from the edge of the fitting. Professional plumbers who use push-fit connections in commercial settings do this as standard practice. It takes 2 seconds, and it gives you an early warning system that can save you thousands in water damage. One line from a marker can be the difference between catching a problem and coming home to a flooded basement. That wraps it up. If this was useful, you will love the full book. 50 step-by-step plumbing fixes with diagrams, all in one guide. Link is below. Hit subscribe so you do not miss the next video. Thanks for watching.